This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Good evening and thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. Well, you may have seen a rain shower, sleet, and a few snow flurries in your neighborhood today, but all of central Indiana is stuck with a thick layer of clouds here tonight. Let's check in now with Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounds for a look at the better weather. Kyle, we are hoping for Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, Nicole, our weather is going to be much improved for the second half of the weekend here. We've been stuck in the clouds, and you can see that on the satellite and radar, but at least the precipitation has moved east and into portions of Ohio, so we're dry. With those clouds, we made it into the 40s today. Right now we sit at 37, but that west breeze close to 20 miles per hour is certainly knocking down those temperatures. Feels like in many spots that we're in the 20s, including Indianapolis at 27, faring a little bit better around Bloomington and Columbus with wind chills in the lower 30s. Your actual temperature still hovering close to 40 degrees. Heading out this evening, you're certainly going to need that coat, but you can leave the umbrella behind. We're going to be dry, and those temperatures will eventually level off here once we get into the middle 30s by 11 o'clock. Things are going to be much better, though, tomorrow, and part of that story is going to be a temperature surge, sending highs into the 50s, at least for a couple of days. We'll talk about the associated rain and even some snow chances coming along with it in a few minutes.
All right, Kyle, thank you. A local veteran has been running since midnight. Every step he takes is for a much greater cause than himself. As RTV6's Troy Washington shows us tonight, he set an ambitious goal to turn heads towards issues affecting veterans.
Just by placing one foot in front of the other over and over again, Dustin Johnson is making a difference. In fact, he says doing 100 miles in just 24 hours feels like slight work and hurts less considering the cause.
I mean, when you put meaning behind your miles that you're doing.
The burn of each mile feels different for him. For Johnson, doing the Taji 100 and completing a month-long challenge on the opening day takes focus, a mission he had no problem taking on alongside fellow veterans from Team Red, White, and Blue.
There's no way I could come out here and do this by myself. I mean, I'd probably run 20 miles and quit.
RTV6 caught up with Johnson after 67 miles of running around Westville. Even then, it was clear that he wasn't going to stop until he accomplished his goal.
It's almost felt like nothing because I got these guys out here with me.
He's running with his mind set on one thing, raising awareness about the issues being faced by veterans, whether it be PTSD, depression, or preventing suicide. He wants to help his fellow brothers and sisters who might be struggling.
It helps inspire people, motivate people.
To let those in need know there are positive ways to keep pushing and persevere through pain. And they aren't alone in their journey. There's a tribe surrounding and supporting them the entire way. Working for you in Westville, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Troy, thank you. Now to the ongoing fight to reduce deaths from drug addiction in the Hoosier State. Today, an event was held aiming to shift the conversation around substance abuse. IU is teaming up with the Indiana State Museum to address the stigma. They held a panel discussion today in an effort to educate people on this topic. The goal is to put an end to discrimination against people with substance use disorder. Leaders say the most misunderstood aspect is that someone has made a choice to use a substance and they still have control over it, and it hasn't progressed into a disease or disorder.
The brain's been hijacked a little bit to where the need for getting the substance overweighs normal brain function of, hey, this might cause me pain, or this could have consequences in other areas. And they blow right past that stop sign. They have no problem putting their hand on that hot stove again so that they can continue using.
Today's event lined up with the opening day of the Indiana State Museum's new exhibit, Fix Heartbreak and Hope Inside Our Opioid Crisis. It was followed by naloxone training provided by Overdose Lifeline. Naloxone is an overdose reversal agent that helps bring someone who has overdosed back to life. Greenwood unveiled the latest Safe Haven baby box on Friday. Now plans are already in the works for even more boxes. Brazil residents say they are working to get a box installed in the Wabash Valley. Leaders say they're open to the idea and are working to find the best location for a box. The Hoosier State has 21 Safe Haven baby boxes, more than any other state in the country. Indiana's Safe Haven law allows a person to surrender a healthy newborn 30 days old or younger without fear of criminal prosecution.
You know, we see so many stories of babies being found in trash cans and dumpsters, and these women get prosecuted, which they should. You know, this is an option for them to not get prosecuted. Their child's life goes on, their life goes on, and this is a good thing. You know, we have to start encouraging women to do the right thing, and this is one of the ways to do that.
Baby boxes are now being planned for Bloomington, Mooresville, Spencer, and Evansville. The CEO of Safe Haven Baby Boxes says they hope to eventually have them in every state across the country by 2025. Covering the State House tonight, an Indiana legislator is dropping his push for a law requiring all youths to wear helmets. The bill would have required children and teens under the age of 18 to wear helmets while riding bicycles, skateboards, or skating on public property. Safety advocates backed the proposal. Representative Randy Fry of Greensburg says he modified the bill to include free helmets for youths because many legislators considered a helmet requirement too intrusive. A Northwest Indiana man set free on bond is now accused of fatally shooting his girlfriend, who police say he previously attempted to kill. Hammond police say Charles Goforth is charged with first-degree murder in the death of Sylvia Williams. A relative on Wednesday found Williams dead in her home. Goforth was charged with attempted murder for shooting Williams on November 1st. He was freed on a $7,000 bond, and a judge allowed him to return home to Independence, Missouri. He was arrested there earlier this week. Hiring Hoosiers connects you to jobs, resources, and training with the upcoming census. The Bureau needs workers to help take count. Hourly pay for census workers in Indiana will range from $18.50 to $25 per hour. The hours are also flexible. Today, the Census Bureau hosted a hiring blitz event. We talked to them to see what kind of jobs are available.
Most of the jobs available now are what people often refer to as census takers. These are people who will go out into the field starting in May to help people who have not completed the census yet fill out the form.
Well, if you didn't make it out to today's event, we have posted a link to apply on hiringhoosiers.com. The Iowa caucuses are just days away. New tonight, we're taking a look at the latest poll numbers and just what makes a caucus so different. Kyle.
It's a new month, and the outlook for February is calling for near to above average temperatures. We'll take a closer look at those numbers for the first week of the month. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
At rallies, get rallies delivered.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Welcome back now to Democracy 2020 and the Iowa caucuses, which are just 2 days away. The caucuses are the first nominating contest of the primary season. A new Wall Street Journal NBC News poll shows former Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Bernie Sanders neck and neck, leading the Democrats in Iowa. Former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who at one time led the pack, now bumped from the top 4. Tonight, ABC's Mary Alice Parks explains how the Iowa caucuses work and why they are so complicated.
When most Americans go to vote this primary season, they will see these, but not in Iowa. No secret ballots, instead lots of public debate as voters caucus.
The Democrats who show up for a precinct caucus will literally vote with their feet. It's a very physical, participatory experience.
Caucuses are meetings put on by political parties, not the state. Voters pick delegates who will go on to vote for candidates at the national party conventions in the summer. First, Democratic voters check in and are counted. Then they divide into groups to show their first choice. Fans of one candidate in one corner, those choosing a different candidate across the room. There are speeches and debates as groups try to win more support. In order to qualify for a delegate, a candidate must have 15% of the room. If one group has less than that, those people are free agents. In a second round, those voters can band together or join one of the larger groups. The whole process can take hours.
On the Democratic side, they are going to publicize the outcome of that first round of caucusing. So those candidates might be able to claim that they had, substantial support, 7% or something, going into future contests, even if they don't actually get any delegates.
This is a major change. This year, candidates will be able to boast about how many people walked into caucus rooms and picked them first. So regardless of where the math shakes out at the end of the night, candidates could use this first popular vote to claim victory. A second change, Iowa is holding dozens of satellite caucuses at different times and even outside the state and outside the country for Iowans who live away from home. There's no mail-in option. Emmanuel Smith is hosting one of those in his building.
Really all I wanted was not to be put in a position like last time. I think it's important for people to understand it's not 8 people in a one-room schoolhouse in a cornfield somewhere. These are packed gymnasiums.
Mary Alice Parks, ABC News.
Mary Alice, thank you. An 8th case of coronavirus has been confirmed in the U.S., the latest case in Massachusetts. The state's Department of Public Health confirmed the positive test of a man in his 20s who lives in Boston. Officials say the man recently traveled to Wuhan, China, and got medical care soon after returning to Massachusetts. The patient was put into isolation and is said to be recovering and doing well. On Friday, U.S. health officials declared the coronavirus outbreak a public health emergency. And tonight, 2 Indiana colleges are restricting travel to China amid the coronavirus outbreak. IU restricting travel to China for faculty, staff, and students with the guidance from the CDC. Taylor University in Northeast Indiana has canceled a study abroad program in China. Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast. We're taking a live look across central Indiana tonight with our Weather Now camera network. If you're tired of the cold and clouds we've had all week, I think it's safe to say, Kyle, we all are. And so we're hoping for some sunshine soon.
Yeah, we are ready for that big, bright sun to return to the sky, and it's going to do so tomorrow.
Oh, good.
But tomorrow is a little bit of a weather holiday, if you will. It is Groundhog Day, and you can see there over time, Phil calls for more winter, far more times than he does in early spring. But before you get too down about that, his accuracy only about 40% here. Tomorrow we'll learn his prognostication for the year ahead. All right, as we look out downtown, we haven't seen our shadow very much here over the last couple of days with all that cloud cover around. Our temperatures sitting in the middle to upper 30s. You're at 39 right now in Bloomington and 37 downtown, but again, it feels like the 20s. That clearing line is getting a little bit closer, but it's still more than 150 miles to the west. So for tonight, we're going to keep those mostly cloudy skies. Temperature's not going to move a whole lot. We'll have a low of 34 with that west breeze around 10 miles per hour. Now, I still think we've got some clouds around first thing on our Sunday morning, but they're going to continue to lift out of here as we go throughout the day, holding on to the clouds a little bit longer around Anderson, Muncie, and Hartford City as we go into your Sunday afternoon. But then the sunshine taking hold, and that would be great in its own right. But as we go throughout our Sunday, you'll also notice the temperatures, nothing to complain about here. A surge that will get us into the 50s, already 48 at noon. We'll get to the middle 50s for a high. The only weather issue tomorrow really is going to be this west breeze. Occasionally we could have some gusts around 30 miles per hour, but we're talking about numbers tomorrow that are about 20 degrees above average for this time of year. Combine that with the sunshine, I'm sure the car wash is going to be a very busy place tomorrow. And we'll continue with the mild temperatures here going into the start of the work and school week. Then on Wednesday, cold front's going to move in, and that's when things change a little bit. Our high back to about where it should be, and we've got some precipitation that's going to come along with that. On Tuesday, rain returns to the area. We'll have some periods of rain, fairly light stuff for us, but persistent. As we go into Tuesday night, there's the colder air that comes in. Could see a little bit of a wintry mix that persists into our Wednesday, so we'll have to keep tabs on that for you pretty closely over the next couple of days. 7-day planning forecast now. There you go. Highs in the 50s Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We've got that rain on Tuesday as well. then the wintry mix and things are a little more February-like for highs in the middle 30s Thursday and Friday.
I could see people maybe getting the grill out for Super Bowl tomorrow, since it's going to be so nice.
That would be a great idea, wouldn't it? Yeah, nice for those party plans.
I bet everyone's happy to hear that. Thank you, Kyle. Well, new tonight at 6 o'clock, the owner of a Pennsylvania dairy creamery is accused of defrauding tens of millions of dollars from the Amish and Mennonite communities. 68-year-old Philip Reel is charged with conspiracy, securities fraud, and wire fraud. His creamery, Trickling Springs Creamery, closed in September and filed for bankruptcy in December. Reel is accused of defrauding nearly 400 people and diverting nearly $60 million in investments to business.
I think there are a lot of people who are feeling the pain. Okay, there are a lot of people who are hurting because of this.
If convicted, Reel faces up to 45 years in prison. And big news tonight for a former Indianapolis Colt. Coming up in sports, the announcement for Edgerrin James, 6 years in the making.
Get Stewart. Get started.
Welcome back. Big news tonight for former Indianapolis Colts running back Edgerrin James. The former Colt is headed into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. James announced the big news on his Instagram account. He earns his invitation in his 6th year of eligibility. Unfortunately, former Colts wide receiver Reggie Wayne, who was also up for an induction, did not make it in. College basketball now, IU playing on the road in Columbus, Ohio against the Ohio State Buckeyes. The Buckeyes struggled in January, looking to compose themselves in the new month. In the Buckeyes' favor is the Hoosiers' weakness on the road. Going into this afternoon, the Cream and Crimson just 1-4 in road wins. The Hoosiers fall on the road again, 68-59. IU plays host to Purdue next Saturday. More college basketball now. Number 16 Butler playing host to Providence at Hinkle Fieldhouse. The Bulldogs looking to extend their winning streak to 3. The Friars would lead by 6 going into the break. The Bulldogs would come back to within 1 with 14 seconds to go. A last-second bucket would seal the deal for Providence. The Bulldogs fall to 5-4 in conference play. Indiana State on the road at Missouri State. The Sycamores also looking to extend their winning streak to 3 in a row. That game just wrapped up. The Sycamores overcome the Bears on the road 78-68. The Super Bowl is a little more than 24 hours away. The Chiefs will play the San Francisco 49ers in the big game down in Miami. And tonight we're getting a look at how some Super Bowl balls are being made right in front of fans.
We brought the mobile factory here, right? We're making footballs at the NFL Experience. You can watch us make a ball. You can purchase that ball or some of the other products that we brought down here. Katie actually sewed these back at the factory. So we stamped them ahead of time. Katie's going to take these two, and now she's going to sew these together and make a full. Jimmy's going to put this in the steam box for about 20 to 30 seconds. Jimmy does about 600 balls a day, so he is very good at his job here. He's going to pound the excess material down on both ends. Now he's going to use his rod here, and he's going to push each end in, and then he's going to pull us through. And then we're going to tamp the ends down just to kind of finish off the end shape. And there's your Super Bowl 54 ball. She's going to put a bladder in the ball. Now we're going to actually put some air in it. And the lace we use is only for the NFL. Heather's been doing this for over 21 years. She's probably the fastest lacer we have. Does around 200 balls a day. Each team gets 108 footballs, 54 for practice and 54 for the game. The game balls are then measured in 2 different directions. They're weighed, and we also check the sensor. There's a sensor in all the game balls that track the ball on the field. And again, it's a natural product, so it's going to have some defects on it or scuff marks, and he's going to eliminate those with this brushing activity here. And there you go. There's your Super Bowl 54 ball, straight from Miami.
That was very cool. Well, now that sports betting is legal in Indiana, Hoosiers will be placing all sorts of bets on the Super Bowl. Here's a look at some of the more interesting Super Bowl prop bets you can make. You can pick if the coin toss will end in heads or tails. In addition, you can try to predict if the jersey number of the first touchdown scorer will be over or under 26. If you're looking to bet on what color Gatorade will be dumped on the winning coach, the favorite right now is purple. Stay with us. We'll be right back here with a final check of your forecast.
Storm Team 6 working for you.
We'll take a look at this adorable photo of a litter of puppies. And this was posted today by the Humane Society of Boone County. They say they have grown by 36 paws and need a lot of puppy food to keep these little bellies full in the future. They are asking for donations to be made at the Lebanon Kroger, Zionsville Pet Value, or the Whitestown Pet Supply Store. You can also drop them off on the porch of the shelter. How cute, Kyle.
That is a cute bunch of puppies, isn't it? All right, well, tomorrow we are going to see some sunshine. That'll make us all feel pretty good here. Even better, a high of 57. We'll get into the upper 50s on Monday, and then precipitation moves back into the area on Tuesday, possibly a wintry mix going into our Wednesday.
All right, Kyle, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you right back here tonight at 11. Have a great night.